Ray Lescher, I'm the pastor at Sacred Heart Church here in Joliet, and I'm the pastor going on to 13 years. And basically it was a gift, a blessing. Abraham came to me and Mark and said, we've got a major problem here of Will County is the third largest container entity in the world, next to Singapore and Hong Kong, which is mind-boggling. And there's a lot of abuses, labor abuses going on among the workers. And most of them are part-time workers. They're being abused. And it's an issue of justice. And this church has always been a leader, Sacred Heart, in fighting for justice. So for me, it was just a given. So I offered them the room that you see there is their office space. We kept meeting, and we came up with a committee, and Pastor Herb Brooks is also on it, and Pastor Craig Purchase and myself were the clergy who have been leaders. And the more we learned, the more appalling it was, and the more of a justice issue. I mean, we talk about a living wage. In Will County, and we have documentation on this, a living wage in Will County is $15.38 an hour. So that's what it takes to afford a one-bedroom apartment, which is $600 to $700, or a two-bedroom apartment, which is $800. And what we're finding out is 62% of these workers are getting $8 an hour with no benefits, and they're permanent. The other thing is I get angry at about the politicians, and they're all bragging how Centerpoint 2 is going to bring in 12,000 jobs. And that's wonderful, wonderful. The question is, what kind of jobs? And what we're finding is that through the research, and this is really professionally done, and thank God that the University of Illinois out of Chicago helped, and with Mark and with Abraham and the workers, we're documenting that 62% of these jobs are not a living wage. Mm-hmm. So we hope to get the word out in the community. I mean, this is an issue for the well-being of the whole community. Mm-hmm. Everybody's hurting today. And living wages, the crime rate, everything's going to go down.
And what do you see as the church's role? I mean, with your parishioners,
The church, and this, at the heart of the gospel is justice. And that's how we're going to get judged. Not what church we go to, not how many times we went to church, not even what religion. I was poor, I was hungry, I was sick, and you did something to the least of these. So, for me, I mean, all my life as a priest, 47 years, justice has been at the center of the gospel.
And what about like you said in the meeting, you see these church leaders that are here. Do you think the church has a role in, talking to the politicians?
Absolutely. I mean, these are our people. And if these workers aren't in our church, they're relatives, they're our children, they're our grandkids. So I would doubt there isn't a church in Joliet, even on the west side churches, who don't have someone in their family who's involved in this system. So it affects all of us. And if you believe that justice is an integral part, major part of the gospel, the message of Jesus, which I always have my whole life, then this is just basic.
Okay, great.